Okay, so hi guys. This is question number 7, and for question number 7, we're gonna have like some columns here, some information, and we can see here that we're calculating the customer rebate, age, gender. So here is gonna be like a drop-down list, discount or discount, and here we have separated by male and female. The total we want to know using Countifs and Summifs. Okay, so first of all, we're going to read the questions to see the information, the data that is being given to us, and what it is requesting to be done. So use the data provided on the sheet to retrieve the information for a selected customer using VLOOKUP. Okay, um, calculate the customer's um, calculate the customer's well, also consider that the customer can retrieve an additional senior discount if they're 55 years old or older. Okay, age 55 or older. Okay. For example, a customer who has an annual charge of 22,000 will receive a discount of 10%, plus an additional 50% of 5% if he's 55 or older. Okay, so you have the table here for the discount, right? The percentage 0, 3. So it's based on the sale. So if the charge is 0, they get 0. So if there's no like charges, no discount. If the charge is for $10,000, you get 3%. If it's 15, you get 5. If it's get 20, you get 10%. And if it's 25%, you get 15. On top of that, if the customer is 55 years old or older, so then you get this amount plus 5%, right? Okay, so it would be like this amount here, right? Instead of 15, you get 20 and so forth. So this is one table that we have based on the sale. And how do we know if the customer is 55 years of age or older? We have this information here, right? So you have the numbers of customers. It goes to like 100. We have 100 customers. It tells if they're female or male. And it's also going to tell us the age and the annual chart. So first of all, you can see like the first one is the charge number is 8,122. So you know that it's not here. It's 10%. It doesn't reach 10,000, right? So okay, 11,000, for example, would be here between 10 and 15. So this customer here, for example, he's 28 years old. So he's just gonna get with the 3% and not the 8%. Okay. So first of all, select from the drop-down list of customers. So that's for the rebate calculation. To select from the drop-down, we're gonna go to data. And then data validation. What you want to allow, you want to allow a list of customers because we have 100 customers, right? And the source is going to be here. Control Shift down. It's going to select all, or you can just select manually. So now you can select the customers that you want, right? Any of them. Okay, so our gender this part here, we can add the formula so it's calculated. But first, what I want to do here is like we have the 55 or older here, right? Just for visualization purpose, but we can add the discount amount here. So we can just grab the information from here. So what I'm going to do is to add two columns. And then for these two columns, one is going to be the discount percentage. And the other one I'm going to do is a discount or dollar amount. Okay. So now what we're going to do here is to use the VLOOKUP section. So trying to find this amount in here, and we can use an if, saying that if the age is higher than 50, if this age here is higher than 55, so then we add the 5% or not. Okay, so that's very simple. We can start working on this calculation. I'm gonna write here equal. So first we're gonna check for the age, right? If the age is higher or not than 55 years old. So equals if. So if the age is larger or equal than 55, right? So then 55, so then 5% is all we want. So if it is not, the value, if it falls, 0, because you don't get any discount if it's more, if it's less than 55 years old. Okay, so we just close the parentheses, and that's our first portion of our formula. And then we also got we could have one column just for that, but instead of having one for that and the other one for VLOOKUP, I'm just gonna combine the two formulas. So you can just add the plus, and then we're gonna do the other section, which is the charges, the actual charges. So if this amount here, oh, we're using the VLOOKUP, right? Plus VLOOKUP. And what is it I want to look it up? This amount. And where do I want to find this amount? I want to find those amounts here, right? But don't forget to lock this number, so anchor it. So F and F4, so they're anchored. And so I want to look for them there. And which number do I want to return? I want to return to the discount column, which is 1, 2. So column number 2. Okay, and then it's standard to come as true, but I'm just gonna write down 2 because I want the approximate match, not exact match. And this is our formula. Okay, so this person here gets 0% discount. Why? Because it didn't reach $10,000, right? The minimum to get a discount is $10,000, and also he's not 55 years old, because if it was 0, he would still get a 5%. So that's why the first one is 0. So we can just drag this down, double click, and we have the discounts for everybody. Okay, perfect. So here's our first section. So here to know, like, so we have the discount calculation here. So now to just know the total amount, right, with the discount. So what we're gonna do is just to multiply these two values. Okay. We don't need to anchor anything. And here we go. So these are the columns that we have, with all the information that we need is right here. We didn't need like this part here. It was just like for visualization, so we can understand better our question. So I selected a random customer here, right? Because we already selected one from the list. So now we want to see, like, this is customer number 22. So if I go to customer number 22, what is the gender? Oh, it's gonna be male, right? But instead of writing male here and then just like the age going 42, we just have a table of like 100 customers, right? But that's not usually what happens. And In real life, you could have like thousands and thousands of data. So not only would it take a while to find these amounts, but also like if you pick them manually, there's like a higher chance that you're gonna commit mistakes. So what we can do like to just solve like minimize its problems is to use the VLOOKUP function. So to find out the gender of customer number 22, we're just gonna use the VLOOKUP function equals VLOOKUP. And then what is the thing that we want to find? The value that we want to find is this value, right? So the information that we want to get is on customer number 22. Okay, so information on customer number 22, I'm just gonna lock this number. We can drag it, it doesn't need to be locked, but and where are we going to find the information? Where's the table to find information about this customer? It's here. So shift control down and to the side. I selected the table, right? I'm also going to lock it just so I can drag it down if I want to. Okay, and then it's asking me for the column index. So where is the gender in the columns? So we just go back to the table to take a look. The first column is the customer number, so I don't want information here. And the gender is right here in column number 2, right? I'm just gonna write 2 here. And then it's gonna ask if you want an approximate match or the exact match. I want the exact match. I want it to return exactly what it's saying, if it's male or female. In this case, we don't have any other options. So 2 and then false for the exact match. And then I'm just gonna close it. Perfect. So now we can see that customer number 2022 on this table is listed as male, just like we have here, right? So we know that it's correct. So for the age, we're gonna do exactly the same thing, right? So I'm just gonna copy the lookup. Okay, but here you see, because I copied, it's saying male. The only thing that I'm gonna change here is we don't want the column number 2, this gender. We want column number 3, this age, right? So whenever I had the column here, I'm gonna change. Perfect. So now I want to see the annual charges. I'm gonna do the same thing. And where is the annual charges for this customer? Column 1, column 2, column 3, column number 4. So I'm just going to change instead of 2 here. I have column number 4. Okay, so now I'm going to find the discount. So for the discount, we can do the same thing, right? And it's going to be column number 5. And the total discount amount, we already calculated as well. And it's going to be column number 6. So now we can check 827 for customer 2022. See, that is perfect, right? So we have a drop-down list here as well. So that's why I locked the amounts. So now you guys know that if I change this for customer number 1, for example, all the amounts do change. And you can see here the customer now is a male, age is 53 years old, 53, annual charge 81239 and 0 discounts, right? So the option of the drop down value is amazing because it's giving us like a dynamic set of results, and that's like very good to work with. So now moving on to part number 2, calculate the total discount for female and male customers. Use Countifs and Summifs formula to calculate the total annual charges and discount amount for each gender. So we have number of customer, female and so you just want to know the number of customer. In this case, we're going to use the Countifs for, right? So to count the amount of female customers here. So it's going to be the Countifs formula, and that's very well, like it's gonna tell you how to use it. Okay, so where's that we want to find the amount, the range? So it's here, the gender column, right? So we have the gender column, and what we want is a criteria. We want the information on this column to be equals to female, right? If we have also like to pay attention, because sometimes it's not going to say female here and female there. Maybe it's just going to say F here and female there. So in this case, you just like write the word between quotes to give the right result, or we could like replace the values in the column as well. Okay, so we have 44 females. I'm just gonna copy this to the other side. And instead of B21, we're going to have B21. Okay, perfect. So in this case here is total annual charges. So, it's not count. You're not counting, you're adding, right? Because it's the total. So we're going to use the Summifs formula, right? So Summifs formula is the total annual charges. So where's that we're going to find this information? So first of all, it's for female, right? So to the Summifs, it's gonna give you the range, so where and what, and the sum range. So where do you want to check the total annual charges? You want to check the range for this range being female, and then you add the total charges for all the females, right? So the range here, we're gonna select Shift Control drop down. So then our criteria is to be female. You can just select the cell. If it's not, if it's something that you don't need to put like between quotes, and then whereas you wanna add the sum range. So the sum range is for the total annual charges. So let's find this column. It's not here. It's this one here, right? So I'm just gonna select this column, and here we go. It should give us the result. So what this is doing here is to adding all the amounts of annual charges for female customers. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing for the male customers. Okay, perfect. Then here it's the D because it's the male. Right. Total discount amount. For the total discount amount, it's going to be the same thing. So it's total, you want to see the discounts. So adding like the sum of all the discounts for the female customers. So we're also going to use the same sum if. And where do you want to find the information? You want to find information here. Like this column P needs to have female return value, and what is that we're gonna add? It was the total discount amount in dollars, right? So here, final dollar sign. Okay, close it. Perfect. So then we have it for all the females. Male. And overall total discount amount, you can or add their like equal sum and add the amounts of the column, or you can just like add these two, right? This is a good exercise because So you have 68, 628 here. So just to make sure that we did the calculation right, I'm gonna write sum here. And then I'll just select all these amounts, all these numbers. So in this case, that's just like the check. So if this didn't give us the same amount, it would mean that this calculation, like maybe we selected something wrong, but you can see that it's correct. Okay, so this was our question. It's pretty simple. You just have to remember that here it's more than 55, right? If not, we would have to change the if value. In this case here, I joined the if function with VLOOKUP, but you could also add one column just for the if, and then another question for another column for the VLOOKUP. That's fine as well. So we just like made it like more like less steps, and you know that you can select like any customers, and these numbers are gonna change like this portion here on top. Thank you very much. So now we are ready to go to the next question.